What's happening? This is Avidan, and welcome to part 3 of the Study Beat tutorial series. And in today's tutorial, we're going to go ahead and touch on how to make your first melody in FL Studio 20. Now, trust me, I know this is something that used to be really hard for me because I used to not know how to make melodies at all. In fact, I used to be like the biggest sample-based producer. If you checked out all those 30-day beat challenges, all it was just sample. So this is like still new territory for me, but I still understand a little bit how to use FL to still make it sound good and still to make it, enough where you can make a beat of your own. And you're going to learn that today. But first, before you jump into this for episode 3, you may want to check out the first part where we touched on how to make your drums, and part 2, we touched on how to make your first chord progression as well as your bass lines. And if you're interested in that, there's a card right above me, so you can go ahead and check that out. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so for those of you who have been following along, you should recognize where we are. This is exactly where we were before, and I'm just holding the left click and just dragging this back and forth just to kind of remind you all about that. So we're going to go ahead and, well, before we jump into actually pulling the melody in there, I want you all to just look at your chords. You see your chord progression right here with the Rhodes MK Lite. This is actually a really good chord progression that could serve as a melody of its own. And I'm going to show you how we could just go ahead and make life easy for ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit F8. We're going to hit flex, drag it right here. And as before, right click, rename in color. I'm going to call this Melody 1, right? And we'll make this sea green. Hit the button in the middle. Now, the reason why we want to add a melody over this is because by itself, it sounds a little dry. If you recall, see, right there, it sounds good, it's dreary, but that could get really boring. When you want to make beats, you still want to have variations in there to keep the listener's attention, because if it's just the same loop over and over again, more than likely the person's going to get bored and stop listening to your music. So one of the things you're going to do is you're going to make the sound a little bit more interesting. So instead of Melody 1, we're going to do what we did last time, go back to chords, open up your step sequencer, and right click Rode Light, copy, right click Melody, paste. Before we do any of that, we're going to left click Melody right here, and we're going to choose Essential Pianos, okay? And we're going to use stage grand this time. So we're going to use like a grand piano. And just by using the grand piano, I double clicked it twice, I don't know why. Just by that, listen to how it sounds. See, already it has a much more interesting sound to it, and you start to get that lo-fi feel to it. So let's go back to the step sequencer, left click that. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go ahead and delete the bass notes, because we don't need it right now for that. That's not what we're going for. And we're going to change this magnet key right here, left click that and select none. And what between line and none, what line does when you click and you hold, you see where the indent is. I'm trying to point to the screen like you guys can see, but I'm zooming in right here as you can see. You see it's going by each bar, right? So let's bring this back. When we change it to none, we have more freedom on how much we want the note to play for. And this is really good for pianos because this is going to help give your piano a more natural sound. So let's start doing that. And because this is a melody, we're going to go ahead and actually change up the notes a little bit. All right, so let's start bringing some of these down. And you're going to left click and hold and drag some of the notes. You're just going to bring them over a little bit, because we want to make this sound more like a realistic piano. So we're going to go ahead and just, shorten the notes a little bit. And let's see, this doesn't have to be as long. And these don't have to be just so close together like this. And this is going to give just a fresher sound to it. All right. And with this, we're gonna just go ahead and do this. If you guys remember before with the chord progression, I kind of did this before, but I changed it because I wanted it to be kind of for this part of the tutorial. So that's the reason why I changed it. If anyone who caught on to that, and then now listen to it. There we go. So there already it sounds way more interesting. So we're going to go ahead and do, now we're going to right click it, cut it out and put it in melody 1. And there, you already have a good melody to go with this. If you ever want to go back to the playlist, just click this. This button right here brings you back to the playlist. So with that, we're somewhat okay, but we still kind of need an extra sound to go along with this. So we're gonna hit F8 again, and we're gonna go into Citrus. And this is gonna be our, probably like our hook melody. So we're gonna call this melody 2. This will be more of our hook melody. We'll make this light sky blue. And click this button right here. Oh, and side note, for those of you who have not been following already, description down below, the project file for today's lesson will be in the description. So you can follow along with this by just downloading that. And if you installed FL Studio already, you could easily follow along. Even if you have the trial version, it'll be fully completed already, but then you'll be able just to see everything that we have done here, as well as build upon whatever you want to make with that creation file. So that's my gift to you all. Links in the description down below. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead into piano roll. And now that we're in melody 2, all right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make kind of like our hook melody, just like a little variational change. And actually, before we do that, we should actually change our instrument first. So left clicks melody 2 down here until the Citrus screen comes up. Right click the arrow, and we're gonna go to guitar. Guitar, where are you? There it is, acoustic nylon guitar. That should be perfect for the sound we're going for. So we're gonna go back into piano roll, and I'm gonna play this in the second beat per up until we get up to here. So what we're gonna do is find this, put this right here, we'll do this right here, we'll do this right here, and do this right here. All right, so far that looks good. What we could do is we could add this here, and I think that is the notes. Let me just double check. I believe those are the notes. Where's Rhodes? Oh no, it's not C sharp. Okay, made a mistake. So it's this one right here. All right. And then with this, we could just do a small walk down like this. All right. There we go. Let's see how this sounds. Whoa, okay, so first of all, I just noticed something. The sound is way too low, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these up a little bit. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so that sounds pretty good. Let's go back to melody 1. Yep, we got to bring up these pianos. So that's why this sounded the way it did. All right, so we have a good portion of what we want to do with this. And I'm thinking about just going ahead and just arranging this a little bit more and layering the drums. We still got time for that. So let's go ahead and hit the step sequencer. And let's hit the left, scroll all the way down to basic drums. You can go into packs over on the left. Go down to Legacy, Drums. This time we're going to go to Real Drum Kits. And we're just going to go ahead and hit Clone, Copy, Paste. We're going to hit Clone, Copy, Paste. We're going to hit Clone. Don't copy and paste that yet, but right click and hit 4 steps instead of 2 steps. And then you're going to hit Clone, and that should be enough. So with this, RD6, you're going to put that right here. We're going to go RD9 on hip 7. And then for the kick, RD2 on this. And we could do double up on that. And RD and we're gonna do the RD tambourine hit over here, and we're gonna go ahead and before we hit play, we're just gonna go to drums 3, copy, paste. You can just do this for this, our 4 step, and then for this one, do this, right click, 4 step, boom, boom, and we should be good to go. Oop, no, not yet. Now we should be good to go. So with this, we pretty much have most of the beat. You could literally do, oh wait, before we do that, let's go back to chords. Let's go back to chords. We forgot to do something. Chords, step sequencer, right click the acoustic guitar, and you're gonna put this in melody 2. So this way, there we go. That should have more of a cleaner look. And you're gonna double click, left click this, and you're just gonna say Control B, Control B, Control B, 16. Do it 2 more times. Control B, Control B. All right, so now we pretty much have almost a full length song. And what we're gonna do is take this out, take this out, take this out, take this out. And we're just arranging now for our song. Now this is just the arranging process. There we go. And now we can just do this. And there. So, all right, I'm gonna show you a quick, easy trick. So you're gonna hit Shift D to turn to select this, and just hit Control C, Control B, boom, there you go. So that solves that. So now we pretty much have a full length song actually. And actually, if we wanted to hit Control B, we can just do this, copy C, move over here, Control B. Oh, we didn't miss it. All right, so just move it over. And there we go. Now we literally have a full-length song, just like that for arrangements. And that was easy. Like the Control B part and, left clicking and patching everything in, that made this a lot easier. So we literally have, not a full-length song, we have like, part of a song that you can use, but you could pretty much loop this over and over again. You have a full length beat if you decided to, if you didn't want to make it too complex. This is study beat worthy. All right, so this will actually be included in the download file for those of you who are interested, but I wanted just to add just kind of like the lo-fi-ish effect, and that's adding the vinyl popping sound. And we're going to first go ahead and use this. This is our slice tool. And we just want to slice right at the end here, go back to the paintbrush and get rid of that. So we now have it for the length of the song. What you're gonna do is you're gonna double left click it, and we're gonna hit this down arrow right here and choose route to mixer track. So we can mix this down for later. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and just turn the volume down to about 30%, 26% is good. And then almost hit it too fast there. Hit play. So we already dipping closer and closer in that steady beat lo-fi feel. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and stop right here. We went over a lot today. I mean, a lot. And we went over how to do a melody, a follow-up melody, how to layer your drums, and even how to organize this into a whole song. And that could be a lot to take in. So feel free to watch this as many times if you need to. For those of you who are also interested in other tutorials, we do have a MIDI tutorial where we went on how to sample MIDI beats. Those are for those a little bit more advanced who probably do own the program and you want to see other things you can do. So you can go ahead and check that out right above me right here. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and close this up. Thank you all for watching. Wednesday, we're gonna finish this out with the mixing portion of this tutorial and just make this sound really good. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below and you make sure you share this with a friend. This is Avidan and I'm out. Take care, y'all.